कशात सगळे मजेत मस्त. काल आपण काय शिकलो तर काल आपण 3.1 हा सराव संच अभ्यासलेला आहे. तर आज आपण 3.2 हा सराव संच अभ्यासायला जाणार आहोत. तर सराव संच 3.2 मीन्स प्रॅक्टिस सेट 3.2. practice set 3.2 what we want to learn that first we can see here. So see, this is the indices, this is the a is the base, and base indices m upon n. So the numerator is called as power. Remember that this is the numerator, so that numerator is called as power, and the denominator is called as root, and the denominator is called as root. Okay, so a is the base, so the numerator is called as the power and denominator is a base. Okay, so here is written that means m is power of nth root of a. See, this is a numerator, so we can write m is power of nth root of who? A. Okay, such a way read. See, a is the base, so whatever be the base that can be write at last, and whatever be the numerator that is power, and whatever be the denominator that is root. So here is read such a way, m power nth root of a. So with help of that we can write on all the things here. So see, for remembering you are remember, for that I will write here the formula. A numerator is power, so you may write it into your notebook. A numerator is power and denominator is root. So with help of this formula we want to solve the practice set 3.2. remember that. Are you understand? This is the base, then numerator is power and the denominator is root. With help of that we can read this. So see, a is the base, m upon n is the indices. So here is we can read, here is we read first from power, here is we read from root. Okay, means you can read first power and then we read from roots. So see, how can we read from the roots? N is the root, n root of m power of a, n root of n root of m power of a. Such a way, means this can be read from power and this can be read from the roots. Okay, this is the difference between them, and with help of that we can solve the practice set 3.2. complete the following tables, means we can, this is given in the textbook table, but I am not draw here table because you are not confusing. For that purpose I am write it whatever be the problem given to them. So here is they are said 225. So 225 is the base and 3 upon 2 is the numerator. Okay, so 225 is the base and 3 upon 2 is the numerator. So see, numerator is we call the power. Okay, so here is the power which 3 is the cube, so cube, and denominator is root, the cube of square root of 225, cube of square root of 225. such a way, see here, cube of square root of 225. So here is a right, cube of square root of 225. Are you understand how can read this? See, first we can read with the powers. So see, what is the power? 3. So what is called in mathematics 3? It is cube. Okay, then at a denominator root, so which number is there? 2. So we can read cube of square root of 225. Okay, cube of square root of 225. Then it can be read by another way, square root of cube of 225. See, that is also right. See, that can be read from root. So what is root? 2. So it is called square root, square root of cube of 225. Are you understand? If some of the don't understand, then I will explain it into Marathi. 225 हा नंबर आहे आणि त्याचा इंडायसेस किती दिले? 3 upon 2. माझा जो न्यूमरेटर असतो ना तो पॉवर असते, म्हणजे जो काही नंबर असेल तो पॉवरने वाचू शकतो आपण, आणि जो डिनॉमिनेटर असते ते रूट असतं. समजा इथे आता पॉवरने वाचलं तर कसं आला असतं, समजा तुमचं इथे काय म्हटलं म्हणजे आहे इथे पॉवर आहे आणि इथे काय म्हणतो आपण रूट. न्यूमरेटर पॉवर आहे आणि डिनॉमिनेटर काय रूट आहे. मग इथे काय आहे 3 आहे म्हणजे त्याला इंग्लिश मध्ये आपण काय म्हणतो किंवा क्यूब म्हणतो. मग क्यूब आणि हा किती रूट आहे 2. मग 2 रूटला काय म्हणतो आपण स्क्वेअर रूट. म्हणजे असं होईल क्यूब ऑफ स्क्वेअर रूट किती हा नंबर 2 आहे. क्यूब ऑफ स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ 225 हे आपण क्यूबने वाचलं बरोबर आहे. आता आपण रूटने वाचलं तर कसं येईल. रूट किती आहे 2. मग स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ क्यूब कोणाचा क्यूब आहे स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ क्यूब ऑफ 225 कळलं. अशा पद्धतीने वाचायचं. ओके देन this is you may read by two method. 45 indices 4 upon 5. So it is the power which is the power 4. So how can you say fourth power of fifth root of fifth root of 45. So which is the number that can be right last. Remember that. So first we can read from the power. So what is the power 4. So fourth power of fifth root of fifth root of 45. Okay, fourth power of fifth root of 45. Okay, then we can read it from the roots. Fifth root of fourth power of 45. Fifth root, what is it? Fifth. So fifth root of fourth power of 45. See, this is the 5, so it can be said fifth root. 5 root we can read from the root. So fifth root of fourth power of 45. So here is written fourth power of fifth root can be read. So fifth root of fourth power of 45. See, fifth root of fourth power of 45. Are you understand? Then third problem, what are given? 81 indices 6 upon 7. 81 indices 6 upon 7. So here is the power, which is the power 6. So sixth power of seventh root of 81. Sixth power of seventh root of 81. Sixth power of seventh root of 81. So here is right sixth power of seventh root of 81. Then we can read it from the root. So what is the root? 7. So how can we read seventh root of sixth power of 81? Okay, so it can be read seventh root of sixth power of 81. This example is such a way. Suppose you are write something any names, and suppose this is the 225. This is the number. This can be read from this side, it become 225. And if this can be read by this side, it become 522. Such a way. See here, cube of square root of 225. So when you write, it is square root of cube of 225. So you are remember that first you read from the power and second you read from the root. It is very simple. Then another problem, see 100 indices 4 upon 10. So what is the power? 4. What is the root? 10. So how can you read from the power? Fourth power of 10th root of 100. Okay, it can be read by the power fourth power of 10th root of 100. Then you can read by the root 10th root of fourth power of 100. 10th root, so here is where I write 10th root of fourth power of 100. So here is written 10th root, see 10th root of fourth power of 100. Okay, such a way we read this. Then problem number 5. 21 indices 3 upon 7. 21 indices 3 upon 7. So it can be read from the power. So cube of 7th root of 21. The third power of 7th root of 21. You can read anyway. You can read as cube also. You can read as third power of 7th root of 21. If you read from cube, then it is cube of 7th root of 21. Then you can read from the root. So we can read from the root is 7th root of cube of 21. 7th root of cube of 21, or another way 7th root of third power of 21. So see here, that can be written here 7th root of third power of 21. It can be read from the denominator and it can be read from the numerator. It is very simple. Number second, write the following numbers in the form of rational indices. Okay, first, square root of fifth power of 121. Square root of fifth power of 121. So how can you read? How can you write into the numerical form? So which is the number 121? So 121 is the base. Okay. What is the power? 5. So 5. And what is the root? Square root. So 121 indices 5 upon 2. Why 5 upon 2 indices? Because fifth power and root is square root. So see, it can be read. First, all problem is given here and then we can write the answer. See, this is the first problem. Square root of fifth power of 121. So which is the number? Can you say me, the students? It is 121 is number. So 121 is the base. What is the power? Fifth. So 5 is the numerator. What is the denominator? 2. So 2 is the denominator. So 121 5 upon 2 is the indices. So see, 121 is the number, so it is the base. What is the power? 5. So 5 is the numerator. What is the root? Square root. So 2 is the denominator. बघा ज्यांना कळलं नाही त्यांना स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ फिफ्थ पॉवर ऑफ 121 हे लिहायला सांगितलंय. मग याच्यात नंबर कोणता आहे ना, तो बेस करायचा. मग नंबर कोणता आहे? 121. म्हणून 121 ला बेस केला. पॉवर कुठे लिहितो आपण? न्यूमरेटरला लिहितो. मग पॉवर किती आहे? 5. म्हणून 5 न्यूमरेटर लिहिलं. डिनॉमिनेटरला काय लिहितो? रूट लिहितो. मग रूट किती आहे? स्क्वेअर रूट म्हणून 2. मग 121 5 upon 2. Okay, 121 indices 5 upon 2. Then cube of fourth root of 324. Cube of fourth root of 324. So which is the number? 324. So 324 is the base. Which is the power? 3. So 3 is the numerator. Which is the root? 4. 4 is the denominator. So 324 indices 3 upon 4. 324 indices 3 upon 4. Okay. Why 3? It is numerator because it is cube. 4 why denominator? Because it is root. Then another problem. See. Fifth root of square of 264. So which is the number? 264. So first we write here 264. What is the power? 2. So numerator is 2. What is the denominator? 5. So 2 upon 5. So see, here is 264 is the number. The square, so the power is 2, so it is the numerator 2, and root 5, so it is the denominator 5. So 264 2 upon 5. Okay. Then cube root of 3. This is the problem. Cube root of 3. So what is the base? 3. So 3 is the base. What is the power? Cube 3. So 3 is the numerator. What is the denominator? 3. So 3 is the denominator. So such a way you are getting 3 base, 3 indices 3. Okay. such a way right. अरियंड बघा ज्यांना कळलं नसेल त्यांनी रूट कोणत्या नंबरचा 3 चा म्हटला म्हणून 3 इथे लिहिल्या. पॉवर किती आहे? क्यूब आहे म्हणून न्यूमरेटर 3 लिहिलं. रूट किती आहे? क्यूब रूट आहे म्हणून डिनॉमिनेटर 3 लिहिलं. ओके. So this exercise is completed. I hope that all of the students are understand it very well. So what will be the homework given to you that can be see you on a screen. So that homework you may complete it and send me to my WhatsApp numbers. Okay. And if you have any doubt, then you can ask me my WhatsApp numbers. So if you are not subscribed this channel, so please subscribe this channel, and if you are subscribed, then you share this video with your friends which are having in 8th standard and say to them subscribe this channel. Stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.